Greetings, language lovers and linguophiles across the world. Here I am again speaking about languages. Today's topic is something that's close to my heart, and it's talking again about something that's been rehashed over and over and over again to kick the dead horse, so they say. But it's basically something that's very fascinating to me, and it's about easy and hard languages. Now, I'd like to give a shout out to my good friend Alcatrain, okay, who's probably one of the most experienced, knowledgeable language learners on YouTube. Alright, there's a lot of people out there, but I'm going to make this say a little bit about Alcatrain right now. He studies languages. He's got a great deal of knowledge on many languages. Right now, he's focusing on Turkish. I've seen a lot of Turkish from his channel. I've seen a lot of Arabic, Turkish, Arabic, fabulous Spanish speaker, knowledge of Latin, German, and Persian. So the thing is, me and Alcatrain have a little conversation going on right now about easy and hard languages. Okay, obviously, the fact is that he's right. That some aspects of a language, such as we'll take case for example. All right, I would like to use concrete examples. So in the Slavic languages, Russian, Polish, Slovenian, Czech, such not, you've got the nouns. The endings of a noun will change depending on the role the word plays in the sentence. Here's an example for you. Take the word dog, okay, like a dog, or an animal, the word animal. So the animal is red, that's the subject, okay. I see the animal, that's the object. I give water to the animal, that's a different type of object, alright. The animal is big. I see the animal. I give water to the animal. I think about the animal. All those things, in English we use prepositions, alright? In Russian, the word animal, it changes. Okay, and you have to learn that stuff, and it's difficult. So people say, oh, Russian's difficult because of the grammar. Well, that's, when they say that, it's like, they don't really, in my mind, it's like, grammar is such a widely used term that it can mean so many different things. But in Russian, when people say grammar is difficult, grammar is pretty much the declension of the nouns. Here's another example from Russian again, alright? Take the formation of past tense for your verbs, okay? The past tense in Russian is incredibly easy, okay? All you do is you say el, la, or lo, or li, okay? There's basically one way to form the past in Russian. Yeah, and it's incredibly simple, okay? So when people say Russian's incredibly hard, and if you're talking about the past tense, that's really not true, because the past tense in Russian is incredibly easy. Compare that with Spanish, alright? So in Spanish, the past tense is incredibly, complex, alright? You've got different types of ways to form the past tense in Spanish. For example, take the verb, I don't know, comer, alright? You've got a simple past, a continuous past, and then compound pasts, alright? And all the different ways to form the past in Spanish. Compared to Russian, it's easy. However, also in Spanish, the nouns don't really decline, alright? You have a plural form and prepositions like English. You know what I mean? And so, if someone says Spanish is easier than Russian, well, if you're looking at noun declension, that's true. But if you're looking at past tense verb formation, that's really not true. You see what I'm saying? So, for Spanish, noun declension is easier, but passive verb formation is more difficult. So can you say that Spanish is an easier language than Russian? Yes, if you're talking about nouns. No, if you're talking about verbs. So that's why me and Alcatrain, I really enjoy our conversation, because we can get into the details like I just talked about, the details such as noun declension, noun changing, right, and the past tense and verbs. So I think it's fascinating. We were also talking about Persian, okay? So Persian compared to Arabic, you know what I mean? And Alcatrain's got more knowledge on me on this, so I need to be on my A game, is because Persian could be considered a simpler language than Arabic. Obviously, when you talk about the sound system, right? Because Arabic's phonetics is very, very varied, alright? You've got the trill, r, th, h, r, la. All those are Arabic sounds, and Persian is it's much more, Indo-European. However, Persian's writing system is much more difficult because it's borrowed from Arabic, where Arabic, basically in Persian, you have one sound, but it can be 3 letters, okay? That's difficult. So is Persian easier than Arabic? Not really. Depends on what you're talking about. Are you talking about writing systems, or are you talking about phonology? And also in Persian, this is the last thing about this video before I go. Also in Persian, you got something about, it's called ergativity in the past. Basically, the way you mark direct objects, depending on how you do. I'm not, I don't know about this, and that's why I had to ask Eltrin. So, all right. So basically, the point is one language easier or harder than the other? Basically, I say no, because when you say a language, there's so many different things you can talk about that I think it's not really, it's kind of uninformed, right? To say, oh, Indonesian is easier than Arabic, because at the surface level, you might be looking at just one thing. Like maybe you're looking at the past tense formation or tenses on verbs, and you say, oh, well, look at this. It's one aspect, and it's easier language. No, look at different areas, and you'll probably find that the complexity in that language has shifted to another spot where you're just not looking. And then you can get this. Then you can get into stuff like, how do you measure the complexity of a language? And you're going to need a list of different things to look at. Verb tense, moods, subjectivity, all the stuff with verbs, and then nouns. You're going to have declension, preposition, case, the same thing. And then you look at other things, like is it tonal, the sound system, the word order, all these things you need to really look at and analyze to be able to give like some kind of complexity rating to a language. And I think it also has to deal with what your native language is, which is a whole nother thing. So this is like a huge video topic. Look at your native language. This has been said over and over and over again. I'm a native speaker of English. German and Norwegian is easy for me to learn. If I were or was a native speaker of Mandarin Chinese, it wouldn't be too hard to learn Cantonese or Hakka or Minnan or something like that. So that's all this video is about. I'd like to wish all my linguophiles a great happy day. Next video topic, I don't know. Give me some comments or something. I'll come up with a great one. Shout outs. Yep.